would love to be able to have, having been at the international level for a decade now. Okay, Zaza Lomtadze now from Georgia, one of two Georgian athletes in this session. So at the World Championships last year, Lomtadze competed as a 102 kilo lifter. He snatched 158 kilos there. So he's just a kilo shy of that now.
It's an interesting choice. He's moved up to the 109s.
Yeah.
But I guess potentially because his total just isn't quite there yet, he can kind of grow into the class. Very strong opener too.
Yeah. Well, of course, Georgia already has a pretty strong 102 kilo athlete.
Yeah.
Irakli Chakidze, I believe, in the 102 kilo category. So presumably they don't need another athlete there because only one of them can go to the Olympics. And Lomtadze not quite as strong as Irakli. So best to keep him here where he's more capable of making medals due to the slightly less amount of competition.
Yeah, and as this class starts to change, as we see the quad move on, we'll probably see some of these classes empty out a bit. The non-Olympic classes may kind of, that competition may just drop down a bit. It'll still be competitive because you'll probably have people that know they aren't going to go in the other class move into those classes because of that, but I could see that being a good opportunity for some of these newer lifters on their teams to get a chance at medaling at Worlds or Continental Championships.
Opening attempt now for Garces, one of two Colombian lifters. We also have two Georgian athletes here.
Strong opener.
Yeah, very muscular athlete, upper body and lower body. Looks comfortable.
Good lift,
Max, I don't know if you've noticed, but directly opposite us we have the Iranian team in the crowd, and next to them we have the Georgian team. Behzad Salimi is eyeing up Team Georgia right now.
Yeah.
We know that they've had scuffles in the past in competition, Salimi versus Lasher.
Yeah.
You have to imagine that Lasher sat there somewhere. I know he's competing tomorrow, but it would be unlikely for him not to be in the building supporting his teammate, but I can't see him. But as more Georgians and Iranians turn up, the two teams are getting closer and closer. Only about 6 chairs now separate the two groups, so we'll keep you up to date as to if anything happens there.
If any kind of a snatch contest breaks out in the stands.
Yeah, we have two of the strongest snatchers ever sat in those two teams right now.
All right, we've got some movement here. It's like Dongbing Chen may be the lifter. 163.
Yeah.
His clock is running. We don't see him. We don't know if he's changed, though.
375 is his best total of the year. It's also, he told us, the most that he's hit at all. He hasn't beaten those numbers in training. He is now. He's got time. 30 seconds on the clock.
Down to 8 seconds.
5.
He sees the clock.
Time out, is he?
He's timed out.
No, I think he's all right, but he missed it. I think he did pull it past the knees before we got down to 0. But I mean, only just.
Yeah.
Clearly, there was some changes that Team Taipei wasn't aware of.
Yeah, that's definitely an error in calculation of.
A few athletes bumping up from the 160 mark, called him out early. Okay, Zaza Lomtadze comes out. Tremendous name, all of the Georgians with the DZE ending. Chakidze, Talakadze, Lomtadze.
Hasanidze.
There we go. Now you're getting hold of it. Big 6 kilo jump from his opener. 5 kilo personal best.
Better than the first. Yeah, a lot of power.
We see it with these Georgian athletes. You know, a lot of them not necessarily the strongest athletes, not a lot of them getting into the medals, other than, you know, one particular weightlifter, Lash Tanakadze, but they all move so very well.
Yeah.
And we've spoken before about the different teams here, and some of the teams seem a little bit more fractured than others. Team Romania, for example, none of the athletes train with each other, all different coaches, not even turning up to watch each other lift. And then there are other teams, Team Georgia probably the most extreme on the other end, where these athletes, you know, they're like, you know, they really are like brothers with each other. Not only do they all train together, they eat together. And even, as we know, a lot of the athletes share their prize money with the rest of the team.
Yeah,
you know, there's a feeling with Lasha of, you know, if I succeed, we all succeed. If I eat, we all eat.
Yeah, that's a very generous mindset he has.
Taipei, another team that spends a lot of time together. They have a lot of fun.
He likes to run the clock down. He's already at 8 seconds again.
He's taking his time. That's a better lift.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. You know, within Team Taipei, the athletes have little battles going on. His battle is with Chempo Jen. Even though he's 2 categories up, they have somewhat similar numbers. Chempo Jen actually does outlift him, even though he's a lighter athlete. But they train together on the same platform every time, which is always a lot of fun to see them battling back and forth in the snatch and the clean and jerk.
Here's Team Colombia.
And a change. Rafael Cerro, Colombia, first attempt.
Cerro is opening at 165. That's 7 kilos below his best snatch. So this is potentially a pretty comfortable opener for him. Colombians out in full force again tonight. They've been very supportive this entire competition. Every athlete they have has been given basically an ample amount of cheering and support from the audience.
Wow.
Yeah. Quick.
So fast.
Quick, but he definitely cut the end of the pull a little bit there. Maybe rushed to get under a little bit early.
Yeah, a lot of speed. I tell you what, I might have to find out where he gets those glasses from. They didn't move a single bit, despite the speed that he had getting under the bar.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Get that man a glasses sponsor. You know, very vertical in the torso, doesn't push his head through at all, doesn't get the bar back behind his head. Looks like he could suffer from being a bit wobbly overhead, but not on that opener.
And 166 now on the barbell. Rafael and a change, 166. Remains the weight on the barbell. Third attempt, Zaza Lomtadze, Georgia.
So Lomtadze is coming out again here. This is his third attempt. It's a 3 kilo jump this time.
He looks so strong.
Yeah, the way the last one looked, this I imagine should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, very strong. As good as the first two, no problem. He's got a 375 entry total, so he'll probably best that in the clean and jerk. He's opening at 200.
167 now on the bar, representing Poland. The first attempt, Samurai.
167 kilogramos.
So we might see Jaroslav from Poland.
Still the weight. Third attempt.
Oh no. So Jaroslav bumps up to 169 kilos. Cheng might take this. Seems about right for him. And this time he comes out with plenty of time on the clock, so unless he does something bizarre, he's not going to be close to timing out on this lift. Got enormous legs. Very powerful.
He's taking his time.
Yeah. Perhaps he likes the pressure of it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something he enjoys because he has been doing it basically every lift here. He's already down to 14 seconds, just getting his grip set.
This will be a 2 kilo international record for him.
Oh,
wow,
great
there we
save.
go. It's a new personal best. Fantastic progress.
Happy with that.
Max, you know, 2.5 years ago, he competed as a junior. He was snatching 138 kilos. The year prior to that, 137. So he's put on 29 kilos on his snatch in 2 years.
That's pretty good progress.
Yeah.
Poland, first attempt.
In fact, that's 2.5 years, 29 kilos. That's almost exactly a kilo a month. So we'll expect a world record in 2 years' time.
Samurai 169.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Very impressive depth on a very smooth
Yeah, really no
lifter.
distinct
Good lift,
explosion at the
Samurai.
top.
Silent.
Yep.
No audible noise when he makes contact. No audible noise of the feet on the platform.
170 kilograms.
Okay, Mehdi Karami now comes out at 170 kilos. He's an athlete that we've really not seen a lot of at all internationally. He competed once this year. That's his only international competition. He did that at the 5th Islamic Solidarity Games. He snatched 173 kilos there. There just seems to be, at every single competition that we go to, 2 or 3 new Iranian weightlifters who make an A session.
Yeah, they've got a strong program. I mean, they've got a history of some of the best lifters on the planet. Rezazadeh, Salimi, Rostami,
Sarab Maradi.
Maradi.
That is a characteristically wobbly opener. It's also characteristic for him to not have done up his shoes. We saw that with one of the athletes earlier this year.
Reza Dadar, right?
Reza Dadar, who's currently sat watching on. He snatched a gold medal in the men's 102s, 177 kilos I think he made there. So he's going to see if his lighter teammate can best him. Yep. Okay, Georgi Chikidze now, 170 kilos. Very strong lifter. Used to be a super heavyweight, but of course there's no point being a super heavyweight if you're on Team Georgia, because you're never going to be the A lifter.
Yep. Solid snatch. He does get behind the bar a bit, and it swings, but he gets his head back through really far.
He actually, as he pushes with his legs straighten a bit, bar doesn't really move, chest drops. But as you said, he's quick under it, he gets back in front of it. So back in 2019, he was actually super heavyweight. He weighed 130 kilos. At his most, he was 131.5, and then he took the last few years to cut down all the way to this 109 kilo category. He took the silver at the European Champs. He had a great battle with Hristo Christov in that category. Wasn't able to beat him. Okay, here's Franco now. Second attempt on 170 kilos.
Yeah, he did appear to cut his pull on that first one. We'll see if he gets a little better extension and finish on this.
Well, he's taken a 10 kilo jump for the second attempt.
Yeah, it's a very
aggressive.
Yeah, it's risky because you can expose your technique.
That was actually a pretty good pull.
Yeah, much better technically, actually. I think that extra weight probably controlled him more. But the downside was it looked a lot heavier. So a bit of a trade-off there. Maybe a smaller jump would have been.
Tends to happen when you add 10 kilos to the bar.
Yeah, it's an uncharacteristically large jump in the snatch.
There's his teammate staying warm. It's not abnormal to see athletes with blankets wrapped around them. In fact, last year, for the men's 109s, I was up in the stands looking down into the back room. I saw Ruslan Nurudinov, Akbar Duraev, and Simon Matarosian all simultaneously lying down with more than one blanket wrapped around each athlete in between snatches and clean and jerks. They all knew they had 20 minutes to wait before they carried on, so their team just came and wrapped them up. They just lay there with headphones on, eyes closed.
Might as well take a nap.
Yeah.
4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, so all but 2 athletes have now opened up. We haven't seen Ayman Bakr open up from Tunisia. He's asking for 173 kilos. Max, a lot of young, relatively inexperienced athletes actually competing in this category.
Please welcome back to the
Garces is coming back out for that 170.
170 kilograms, representing Colombia, Oscar Garces.
50 segundos le restan al colombiano, Oscar Garcés.
So he's going to retake this. If he makes it, it's going to be pretty exceptional to have made a 10-kilo jump from opener.
Yep.
Whoa.
Very nice.
Okay. That paid off. And we often say this, Max, you're either a fool or a genius when you make jumps like that. And if you make it, you're a genius.
Got to be happy with that. He's up 10 kilos now from where he started.
Rafael Cerro.
Okay.
His teammate now.
7-kilo jump. Just the 7 kilos for Cerro.
He's the more conservative of the 2 Colombians here.
Although what we've seen is when we have 2 Colombians in a category, they take massive jumps. We've seen that time and time again.
Yeah. I think we have to believe that there's going to be some kind of internal competition here based on who gets selected. You know, if they're both qualified for the Olympics, obviously the higher athletes probably going to be selected. So they really want to be aggressive and just get themselves as far along in that process as they can. Oh, whoa! I spoke too soon. It was a much better pull than his first. He got it behind him better, but it just went a little too far back.
Loaders, please reset the 170
But it was what we mentioned before, that we catched it with such a vertical torso. He doesn't push his head through, doesn't lock the bar back behind his neck, and he does get wobbling.
Yeah, if that bar drifts backwards and you're very vertical, there's really nowhere for you to go. If you are inclined a little bit further, you can move that bar back, and it's not going to move out from your center of gravity as far.
Here representing Colombia, Rafael, and a change. Basha now.
Okay, finally, Ayman Basha comes out.
73 kilograms for his first attempt. Ayman Basha here representing Tunisia.
Not coming out, maybe he's bumped up.
173 kilogramos, por favor, vendrá el hombre de Túnez, Ayman Basha.
It's the wrong name on the platform.
Yep, the wrong lifter is out right now.
The wrong lifter.
Yep, he's being called back. We've seen this a few times where the TC has
not stopped them.
Yeah, not stopped them before they run up the ramp. Okay, here we go.
And he looks a little bit rushed. Singlet wasn't even on yet.
Yeah.
173 kilos for him.
His clock just started. I assume they must have restarted that.
Yeah. So he snatched 177 kilos at the Olympic Games. He placed 9th there. Snatched 174 kilos this year at the Mediterranean Games. Wow.
Oh.
You know, he took a tiny little step with his right foot, and then his left knee came in, almost touched the ground.
He may have hurt that left hip. You could see him grab for his glute there. You know, we've seen a few lifters make lifts like that, but they're, you know, in all fairness, significantly smaller weights.
Samurai, Poland.
There's a bit of jostling in the tunnel there to come out for these 2 athletes passing each other. Bit too broad.
So Jaroslav made a very smooth attempt. His first.
Wow.
Yeah, it almost looked like the first one didn't have a lot of acceleration at the explosion, and that looked to have almost a little bit less. He got to the hips, and then almost like a big swing to try and get overhead versus an extension.
So he, of course, hasn't competed since 2016 due to disqualification, but he's been around a long time. His first international competition was in 2011. He was at the Youth World Champs, but he did bomb out of that competition.
So Ayman Baka is next. He's got the same 173 on there.
Yeah, a couple of athletes now have been stumped by this 173.
Yeah.
Before that, we saw Castillo stumped by 172.
Oh, he's bumped up. Baka's bumped up here at 75.
Yeah.
Wants more time.
173 on the barbell. A new 1 minute clock. Third
So
attempt.
Jaroslav will come out for this.
Yeah.
Jaroslav Samurai.
He's going to take it.
Solicitado más peso el tunecino, vendrá plataforma, Jaroslav Samurai, de Polonia.
Ooh, much better attempt, but
Yeah, similar stuff.
yep, exactly. Okay, so now we have a little bit more jockeying. We've got a couple of missed seconds here. We'll see if they take bold moves. We're going to maybe make a couple of 2 kilo jumps.
Maybe Karami.
One from Colombia here with 174, Tercero. And right now I think the man coming out is Karami.
Yep.
He's going to take this 174 as well. These next
few lists could decide
7.
podiums.
Yeah, I mean the next 7 are obviously going to be the podium places, but
Plus Nurudinov
yeah,
will have another
Nurudinov.
3 on top of that.
we'll see here. It's probably going to be a matter of who can make the next lift here. We've had a few misses from these lifters.
Wow.
Yep,
You know, a bit wild on both lifts.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, that tends to be the Iranian way in weightlifting. They're
Yeah.
a bit jumpy forward, you have the run out lifts, but they're so regularly in and amongst the podiums.
and they almost look like they don't have any more in them. Then they come out for a few kilos more and make it almost looks better.
Yeah, Reza Dadar yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry, in the 102s, was every single lift looked maximal. In fact, in the clean and jerk, he was called on his first 2 lifts and no lifts, and somehow came back and made it on the third. Castillo now, 174, he missed 172, so 9 kilos up on what he opened with.
It puts him above his teammate as well, so.
There's a vuvuzela in the building, and it's being held by Brian Rodalegas.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone else had it, I tell them to put it away, but he's such a great lifter. If he wants to blow on that vuvuzela, then fair enough. There we go. That was the best of all 3, I'm going to say.
Beautiful lift for him.
Oh, he's happy with that.
What an
What was
interesting
that?
celebration. A couple of bunny hops backward.
It looked a bit like Tigger there.
Yeah.
That was wonderful stuff.
Cracks a bit of a smile. He's a very serious lifter most of the time, but
That's one of those lifts where when we pull it up and we get the slow-mo out on social media, I think we might have to start with the celebration. Okay.
Chikidze, he's coming out, getting a little bit of a manipulation from his coach, George Asunidze.
Very fierce coach. He loves to win. Very involved with every single athlete in his team. Certainly as the captain of the Georgian ship. 5 kilo jump here.
His hips came up really fast off the floor, maybe a little too quickly.
No lift.
It
Didn't
will
bring
be
the bar
a
with him.
personal best for him if he makes it in this category. He made as much as 185 as a super heavyweight, but since dropping down, 174 is his best. He did that at the European Championships.
175 kilogramos, segundo intento el tunecino en el mashup.
So what started off as a good start in the 160s has turned into a fair few misses now in the 170s. It's not caused a problem for Mehdi Karami from Iran, but everyone else seems to be having a pretty hard time here.
Yeah, this 75 would put him in the lead in the snatch.
He missed his opener at 173.
Oh, much better.
That was so nice. Significantly smoother, far more stable than that opening attempt. Looks like a different athlete.
He'll probably have to jump to that 78 if he wants to try and hold on to that lead.
175 kilograms.
Potentially.
Which I think would be a personal, but I think 77 is his best, so seems like a smart decision for him to go for 78.
Lines up well. So Chikadze is coming out here for 75. He's going to repeat it. That first one looked like he just wasn't solid enough in his positions as he pulled. Everything kind of gave way a little bit off the ground.
He's probably going to need to make this if he wants to get into the podiums and the total. He's normally able to hit around 210, 211 in the clean and jerk.
Oh,
it was a nicer pull.
Yep, a lot better, but just wasn't enough. Didn't have enough of an adjustment. So he's only got 170. That's not really going to put him in a great spot in the snatch. So
I have a question for you, Max. The Georgian team often makes one or two lifts. Lasha normally makes all three. Do they open him lighter? Is he forced to not have to push as much as these other athletes because he's so far ahead? Is he just technically better? I mean, why is it that we see the rest of the Georgian team regularly going 1 for 3, but Lasha goes 3 for 3?
Well, yeah, I mean, my personal opinion would be that Lasha doesn't just possess extraordinary strength and athleticism, but he is possibly the best technician on the team.
Yeah.
You know, he has very traditional looking technique, and he does it very well. He's super consistent. That may be the most standout characteristic of Lasha is his consistency.
Final attempt now, Mehdi Karami. He's made his first 2 lifts. Wow, all of Team Iran watching on. The Iranian men have mobility unlike any other nation, it would seem. And you wouldn't know it looking at them.
The Iranian men have a fantastic team. He gives the little eyes to, I don't know if it's to Ali Davoudi or Badad Salimi there, but
representing Uzbekistan,
they just have an exceptional ability to make weights.
Yeah, we've got Ali Davoudi and Salimi and Dadar all in the audience watching on. All right, opening attempt now. Ruslan Nurudinov, he's dropped his opener down to 177 kilos. Yeah. I'm so excited about this because I just don't know. We don't know what shape he's in. He looked great at the World Championships last year. He was phenomenal at the Asian Championships in 2021 as well. But this is, I mean, this is light for him. Over the years, his snatch has lowered slightly. His clean and jerk has remained.
Yeah, he's just such a...
Wow, that did not look great.
Uncharacteristically hard. Really not a good attempt at all.
No lift.
No, I mean, you can see him. I mean, we've got a great angle of this lift here where he pulls so slowly and smoothly, but once he gets to the hip, it's such a sudden vertical transition. Yeah, he finishes so tall.
Yeah.
That looked a little heavy.
Definitely a bit underwhelming here. We expected he'd be in pretty good shape. I have to wonder how much he weighed in at. I wonder if he's already moving down.
It's possible.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much from him in the training hall. He only turned up on Monday. First training session was on Tuesday. We saw him front squat up to 230 kilos, snatching around 100. That's literally all we've seen from him.
Yeah, a bit interesting.
Both he and Akbar Jurayev turned up later than the rest of the team. That left arm never got locked out. The bar was just not high enough.
Yeah, it just was not going to get there.
I don't think there was anything he could have done to have made that. It just wasn't high enough. Now we've seen 2 athletes who we thought were going to be the obvious winners struggle in the snatch. Carlos Nassar was in a similar situation.
Please welcome back to the platform second attempt, representing Uzbekistan.
What you don't want to see is an athlete who is so far ahead in the clean and jerk, like Nurudinov is, opening unnecessarily high in the snatch and ending up missing out on a gold because of that.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened to Carlos. He could have opened at 165 and won, but instead he opened up at 173. Was unable to total. Ruslan Nurudinov now 177 kilos.
He's no stranger to pressure. He's competed in some of the most incredible sessions in the last decade.
That looks
Much
better.
Yep. Perhaps just a fluke on that first one.
That was scary.
Yep.
Yeah, that was scary. Now, Max, not to take anything away from these athletes, but whenever I see the number 177 kilos, I can't help but think about Liu Xiaojun snatching that weight as a 77-kilo lifter back in 2016. I mean, how remarkable is that?
Yeah, I mean, one of those special once in a generation lifters, really.
Okay, 177 kilos now. This will be for the silver because, of course, Ruslan has already hit this weight. The bodyweight rule no longer exists. You must surpass the athlete to beat them. That's a great lift.
He's got to hold it. He's got to.
Oh, the pull was so nice.
Yeah, you could tell it was a little forward as soon as he caught it. Body weight was on his toes.
No lift, Basha.
You know, he tried to make the right adjustment. He tried to get up, but he's so tall.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the squat strength he has is probably not relative to his pulling strength, you know, going to be enough to just drive out of the bottom of that.
But he will walk away, regardless, with a medal. He's got a bronze in the snatch.
For his final attempt.
You know, the gold will go to Ruslan Nurudinov. The silver will go to Mehdi Karami. But Ayman Basha will get the bronze at 175. What's exciting is that we then have Castillo at 174. So a lot of these athletes, and then a couple of others at 170, so it's going to be very tight for the battle in the podium. Ruslan now will come out for 180 kilos. Clearly not in his best shape, at least in the snatch. This is looking to be pretty maximal for him so far. Such a happy athlete. I've filmed him in the training hall many times. He always has good spirits, always joking around, very extroverted character. Likes to keep the atmosphere light. Wow, that position that he caught that in was so extreme.
He really went for that.
No lift.
Got his knees way forward, sank way to the bottom.
This
but
concludes the snatch portion of
so
the men's
he's
109 kilogram Group A.
He's not in the best position to snatch. He does have the 77. He's such a strong clean and jerker. I don't think he's worried at all.
Bogota,
although we'll have to find out what shape he's in the clean and jerk as well.
You know, he could lose 10 to 15% of his best clean and jerk and probably still win. He's made 241 kilos. He holds the world record in this category.
Yeah, he's such a powerhouse.
Yeah. So gold will go to Ruslan Nurudinov with 177 kilos. A kilo behind him, Karami Mehdi, 176. And a kilo behind him, Ayman Basha, 175. A kilo behind him, Castillo, 174. So very tight at the top there.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe not the performance we thought of from Ruslan Nurudinov.
Yeah, a bit surprising. We were thinking possibly a little more than that in the 180s.
There's Dongbing Chen. He actually had a pretty good day here, making 167 kilos. There it is now on his third attempt. That was a personal best for him. The athlete from Taipei. You can see how happy he is. He's a pretty young athlete. No juniors in this session. Zaza Lomtadze from Georgia is the youngest of the lot, 21 years of age. And that was the opening attempt there from Castillo. Hopefully we'll get to see that celebration that he hit on his third attempt. Little hop, skip and a jump away from the bar that he did.
Yep. I believe they call that parkour.
Well, there's a pivot for him if he finds that weightlifting isn't his sport, but it looks like it's his sport because he's done very well. 174 he got. It's the runner-up in the snatch. only 3 kilos shy of the gold medal snatch of 177 from Nurudinov. Now you have to imagine that Akbar Drive is sat here somewhere watching on. The relationship between Akbar and Nurudinov always very interesting. There's a bit of a almost like a father-son system there, master apprentice, with Ruslan passing on everything he knows about the sport to Akbar. In fact, I spoke with Ruslan Nurudinov. In fact, is this going to be the jump that we get to see? There it is.
Phenomenal.
Almost like he was skimming himself across the surface of the platform there. Yeah, Ruslan has told me that Akbar is physically stronger and more talented than he ever was. It's just about getting his mindset right. And hopefully we'll see him perform very well tomorrow.
That's really one of the things that experience gives you, more so than just the big numbers, is that kind of mindset, the ability to push yourself beyond what you believe you can do, or beyond what you think you can do. So
there's Ruslan's 177. For whatever hair he lacks in the head, he makes up for in the torso and shoulders. Great beard on him, though. So Ayman Basha from Tunisia, who ended up taking the bronze medal in the snatch here with 175 kilos. He told us that training has been pretty average. He's had a fair few injuries, but he's just been focusing on what he can do in competition. He recognizes that all the athletes here are very good, but he's put himself into a pretty strong positioning for a medal. It's going to be tight. All these athletes are going to have to clean and jerk well if they want to get up there on the podium alongside Nurudinov. Dongbing Chen told us that he had an injury in his left gluteus maximus and left wrist, so he's been rehabilitating those. He said that, interestingly, there's a bit of a trend, a bit of a wave of weightlifting at the moment in Taiwan, is what he said. He said that he feels excited for this sort of recent wave and trend of weightlifting.
That's exciting.
We asked him his thoughts on the athletes in the session. He said that he really admires the veteran from Uzbekistan, that's Ruslan Nurudinov. He says weightlifting movements from Ruslan are so very smooth, and it gives him a chance to learn from him by being able to compete from him on the same platform. It's always very interesting, we look at these athletes as just competitors, but a lot of the time when we see a veteran of the sport like Nurudinov, it's not uncommon to see athletes in the back room afterwards shaking hands, getting photos with these athletes as their rivals. We've seen it time and time again with athletes like Lu Xiaojun. He'll regularly have to take photos with other athletes that he competes against because he's been around for so long. Nurudinov likely, similarly, he's been around for so long that plenty of these athletes were 12, 13, 14 watching the World Championships, watching Ruslan Nurudinov win, and now, 8 years later, they get to compete with him on the same platform.
Yeah, it's an interesting cultural aspect of the sport. A lot of these athletes, although they're competitors on the platform, are often very good friends off the platform, like we talked about earlier. Miso Asona says that Ruslan is one of his very close friends. He told us that he was stuck in Uzbekistan for about 8 months during the pandemic, 2020. In a hotel, and had a chance to train with Ruslan there. But they will be potentially competitors going head-to-head in the 102s.
It's going to be very interesting there because whenever we've both mutually spoken with Miso, and Miso has told us that he thinks that once Ruslan cuts down to 102s, he's going to struggle in the snatch. Yeah. And neither of us have really thought he'd struggle too much, but suddenly here he is snatching only 177 kilos at 109. I mean, he's a man who snatched 194 kilos as a 105 back in the day. So once he cuts down to 102, he might not be much above 170 kilos potentially in the snatch. I'd love to know what he weighs right now. Potentially he looks a little bit smaller than he had done last year. But if he's able to maintain sort of a mid-170 snatch, he might have a strong enough clean and jerk to be a podium athlete alongside Miso and Lesman Paredes and whoever else excels in that 102 category.
Yeah, potentially that 102 category is looking at that, plus 400 kilos to be a winner. I think there's a lot of lifters that have the potential to put themselves there. We've seen some that definitely can. Obviously, the three you just named. The real question comes down to, anyone moving down to that class probably fighting in the opposite direction of anyone moving up. And so, you know, we know that Nurudinov may hold on to some of his strength, but what kind of strength does someone who's moving up from the 96 gain?
Right.
You know, especially in a lift like the clean and jerk where it's just so heavily influenced by body weight.
Yeah, I mean, if Lesman moves up and pushes his snatch over 190 kilos and Nurudinov drops his snatch to 170, you know, there's no way Nurudinov can make up a 20-kilo jump in the clean and jerk, surely.
Yeah.
You know, he'd have to be at his all-time best numbers as a 109 to be able to catch up, assuming that Lesman doesn't gain more than a couple of kilos.
Well, another similar situation is the 89s. We saw Nassar move up from the 81s, and then we have Tian Tao. We didn't get to see him lift here at this competition, but Tian Tao moving down from the 96s.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an 85 before, but you know, the real question is what abilities does he have going down to 81 now?
81?
Sorry, 89.
Yes, yeah. Kedemar Vainea, another athlete who dropped down from 96, seemingly hasn't lost almost any strength. He
could
snatched the gold, didn't he, at 174, and then clean and jerk 211, and he hit 213 in the training hall. I mean, he's definitely someone who is looking for I mean, that 89's is going to be,
loaded.
you know, when you suddenly throw in Antonino Pizzolato, who sent us a message earlier. We posted a video of the world record in the category, the new world record from Carlos Nassar at 220, and he sent a couple of thumbs up emojis and a winky face. And I replied saying Europeans 2023, and he liked it and gave a praying emoji back. So he's clearly planning on returning to competition in Armenia at the European Championships to reclaim that world record from Carlos. But it might be a situation where Carlos reclaims it from him on the very next lift. I mean, we might see a few back and forths there between the two.
I mean, that's an incredible weight class.
Yeah. You take those two, you add in Kianush Rostami, Tian Tao, Kedemar Vainea, Brian Rodalegas.
I mean, it just, the whole A session is just absolute.
Everyone's over 170, 210.
Yeah. It's extraordinary to think about that. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the next year's Worlds will be even more incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Asian Championships will have their own battle between Tian Tao, Liu Huanhua, Kianush Rostami. The Europeans will have a battle between Antonino Pizzolato and Carlos Nassar, and the Pan Americans will have a battle between Brian Rodalegas and world champion Kedemar Vainea. Every continental champs, not every, but those three will be very exciting for the men's 89s. But we really ought to return our attention to this men's 109 kilo session. We have 15 seconds left on the clock before we're back underway. Looks like Zaza Lomtadze from Georgia will be the first out. He's got 200 kilos written in. That may change. He went 3 for 3 in the snatch, one of two athletes to do so. The other, Mehdi Karami, who earned a silver medal in the snatch with 176. To remind you all, the gold medal currently in the snatch, Ruslan Nurudinov. The silver, Mehdi Karami, 176. The bronze, Ayman Basha, 175. Here's Lomtadze now at 200 kilos.
So a change, Oscar Garces, Colombia.
Already a change.
200 kilos
up to 202 kilos for Lomtadze, so that's going to bring out Garces Franco of Colombia with 200.
Yep, and change.
Looks like he will come out. Now he made a colossal jump from his opener to second attempt in the snatch of 10 kilos. And he did end up making it on his third attempt, 160 to 170. So don't be surprised if he makes this and after 210 on his next lift.
A very strong clean.
Wow. Yeah.
Great jerk.
You know, if he wants to take a 10-kilo jump, he's more than welcome to. Yeah, he's definitely strong enough.
Yeah.
Points to some Colombians in the crowd. We know that Brand Rodriguez is here. If we hear once more a Vuvuzela on the broadcast, we know who the culprit is. We picked him up with the camera earlier during the snatches. Okay, 201 now for Jaroslav. This will put him at 370. He only made his opener at 169. Not quite as comfortable as Franco's opener, but it was easy. But that's going to be a miss.
Yeah, he's driving that bar forward and just doesn't have a position overhead.
Now we could bump up to 202 because during that lift, not only does Lomtadze have that in, but Dongbin Chang dropped down to 202. So he could buy himself a couple of lifts rest.
Yeah. My guess is they will. They did the same thing in the snatch.
Jerk was just out in front, really. Arms were locked out, but his body wasn't directly under the weight, so there's really no saving that. Not particularly close.
As a reminder, the lifting concludes tomorrow with the men's plus
like
109 category.
May stay there,
starting at 11:30 a.m. with the C session. And a change, 202 on the barbell.
Moved up.
First attempt, Dong Bin Cheng, Chinese Taipei.
So
first
Dong
attempt.
comes out now for 202.
You know, once again, I want to give credit to the loaders here. They've already made that change. They are so fast on the platform. We've never seen anything like it at an international competition. Of course, the Commonwealth Games, we saw the most regimented loading team ever. But here, at the World Championships, certainly the fastest, most athletic. I'd love to see a bit of a showdown between the two loading teams. Perhaps we can organise that at an upcoming World Championships.
Is it true the loading team of the Commonwealth was a military?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually tried to put in a bid to be flown out to every international by the IWF, but I tried to let them know. I don't think the IWF has that kind of budget, but who knows?
Not high on the list, I think.
No.
He takes the same long time here. Likes to burn that clock down. Very strong clean.
Oh, no. You know, I was about to say that he's going to be eyeing up 209 for a personal best in the total, but he's going to need to turn his eye back to 202. He doesn't seem too upset about it. It has to be said that the temperament of Team Taipei seems to be one of humor, lightheartedness. It's really wonderful to see in the training hall and in competition.
Yeah, really all of them very very positive and upbeat. We even saw Kuo Sing Chun applauding her competitor for winning.
Lomtadze now. He looked perfect in the snatch. 3 for 3 there. Let's see if he can bring that into the clean and jerk. Technically, he's so good. Ooh, something happened there. He caught the bar in a nice position, and there was a buckle, and he pointed to his, almost looked like his left pec insertion or something like that.
202 remains
shaking that left arm a bit. I wonder if something gave way.
Samurai, Poland, second attempt.
Okay, Jaroslav Samurai now. He missed 201 also. We've had 3 straight misses at 201, 202, 202. Very
stronger
smooth again. And it was forward just like on the last, but this time he could bring his hips back under the barbell, regain his composure.
A great save, good lift, Samurai.
Really drove himself under again. So
202 remains the weight on the
Dongbin Cheng is taking the 202 again. Probably a smart move here, it looks like. See if he does in fact come out for it.
Thank you, loaders.
Yep, here he is.
Gracias, auxiliares.
So he made the clean look very strong on that opening attempt. A little bit of an issue in the jerk. Buckling of the elbow.
Yeah, he's come up much earlier for this one. Normally he's burning that clock down to 3 seconds. Great clean.
There we go. That's a much stronger jerk. Okay, he's happy about that one. He's looking over at his teammates. Now, I would have thought, seeing as he's outside of really medal contention in either lift or total, he might now wait it out and go for personal best in the total, 209. So finally, a couple of athletes come back after missed openers. Let's hope that Lomtadze can follow in the footsteps of Jaroslav and Dongbin Chen. He looks the strongest of the three.
Yeah, his first attempt was a great clean, but something happened on his shoulder, left side. Very strong.
That's the one.
Oh, such a perfect balance at the bottom there.
That was Okulov 2015S.
I've probably said it about 100 times this competition, but a lot of lifters just trying to recover their feet prematurely, and they lose balance after a successful split jerk. He did a great job there just holding that position and balancing himself. Could have potentially been a miss had he tried to recover too soon. So good.
205 kilograms, please.
Yeah, he's got a great lockout for a bigger athlete. Brilliant footwork, great positioning, great drop of the back knee. Okay, here comes Cerro Castillo with his 205 opener. He opened 5 kilos heavier than his teammate did in the snatch. He's doing so again in the clean jerk, but his teammate, just like in the snatch, is put in for a 10-kilo jump. If he makes this, though, of course, he'll be way up into the lead.
This gives him 379.
Very fast pull, catches it on his toes. Wow.
He's a tall athlete, and that bar's high up, so there's a little bit of wobbling and shakiness.
He's hurt something.
He may have cramped here. I wonder if his quad has cramped up a bit, or if he's hurt something. Oh, that's...
I don't know what...
I
don't think it's a cramp, because he's not reaching for his leg, or something on that right knee has gone. We've got to hope it's not some sort of meniscus tear or maybe a muscular tear.
Looks to be some kind of muscular issue.
I don't think we're going to see him back out.
Representing Poland, Jaroslav Samarai, 205 kilograms.
Can't see it on the replay. The jerk looks good. His left leg okay. And then as he walks off, he's fine, and then suddenly it goes. Okay. Final attempt now for Jaroslav.
Best clean of the three.
And it's a tough jerk, but he's going to fight it out. From our angle, it looked okay. I'm concerned there was a wobble in the left elbow, but no, all good
jury
there.
Jury stop.
Oh, yeah.
We have a jury stop.
I think it is that left elbow. I glanced at the front camera just as he was recovering, and I think I saw something on the right of the screen. His left, it's just a slow press, and then maybe a wobble, but it's definitely slow to lock out. Yeah,
so
it's slow to lock out. I think they're going to take that away from him.
So close, but definitely there's movement there.
There have been much harsher calls, so
yeah.
I expect them to turn this one down, unfortunately.
Oh, we're still waiting on the call here. What has the jury decided? Here we go. We have a decision.
He's patiently waiting.
After review by the jury, the previous attempt has been determined no
lift.
No, they
due
took
to
it from
bending
him.
and extending the arms.
He's not happy.
So he's going to end with the 2 for 6 there. 169, 202, 371 total.
210 kilograms.
They're bringing
now
the
bar,
challenge
representing
card
the Islamic
out.
Republic of Iran. Mehdi Karami.
So the winning total from the last session, I believe 357 kilos.
We have a stop.
No.
We've had a stop. Are they playing a challenge?
Yeah, they're playing a challenge card, and so what happens here is the jury has to stop the competition. We've not yet seen a challenge card handed to a jury that has overturned a lift.
Well, yesterday they invented a new rule, and they said the jury's looked, so you can't now play a challenge card, even though previously throughout the competition and every other competition we've been to, you can play the challenge card after the jury decide to take a look.
It's one of those rules that you just pull out when you're a bit tired at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was after 9:30 p.m. I think when they did it. So
yeah, it's overturned so quickly.
And suddenly we're up at 210, and this could even turn out to be a podium lift.
I believe this is a massive PR for him. His best clean and jerk competition is 203.
Wow, that looks quite strong.
There
we go. 386 he's on.
A contender here.
Moves way out into the lead, 7 kilos ahead of Castillo. Castillo has put in for 215 max despite barely getting off the platform. Surely he can't come out of it.
Georgia, first attempt.
When an athlete opens 7 kilograms above their previous best in competition, you really have no gauge as to what they can really do.
So Georgie Tukidze now is coming out to 210. This equals his best in the category, and if he gets it, he's going to move straight into second place ahead of Castillo by a kilo.
This is
pretty massive for him
big
as well.
Opener. He's done 227 as a super. So he's familiar with heavy weights like this, but he's definitely smaller.
Such high hips when he pulls.
Very comfortable clean.
Wow.
Very good jerk.
Very, very nice. I do remember there being some sort of upset of the Europeans. Him versus Hristo Hristov. I think he went for the winning lift. Was he called for a press out, or it was close, or something like that?
No,
so he has attempted much bigger lifts.
Colombia, second attempt.
210 kilogramos.
So a 10-kilo jump in the snatch and a 10-kilo jump in the clean from first to second for this man right here.
And this will move
Oscar
him into
Garces.
bronze. It will tie the total of Tukidze.
You know, go big or go home, and well, he's already home, so what else can he do?
Throw it back, but he's got one more go at it.
You could almost see that happening in the middle of the pool.
You could,
he was getting behind it, and it was just everything moving backward. Okay, he's still in it. He did basically the exact same thing on his snatch. 10-kilo jump, missed it, came back, and just destroyed it. But
I think he could do it.
The unfortunate position he's in now, though, is he's going to have a 2-minute clock unless he bumps a kilo.
Looks like Team Poland is still arguing that decision on Jaroslav's 205.
Wow, that's...
it's a bit late.
Yep. I guess you can't knock him for trying. He wants the extra 3 kilos there.
So, 2 athletes still to open up. We saw the same two athletes last to open the snatch as well, Ayman Basha and Ruslan Nurudinov.
And to change, 211 kilograms,
He
please.
took that 1 kilo bump.
Representing Tunisia, the first attempt.
Yeah, we have
Ayman
4 other athletes
Basha.
who want 211, 5 in total want it, so gives them a well-earned rest.
You know, Nurudinov is so strong in clean and jerk. He potentially may just take the same opener that's on the board here and be done with this competition.
Right.
We're seeing most people getting to their thirds here in the probably the low teens for the clean and jerk.
So this will move Ayman Basha straight into the second joint biggest total, but it will equal Mehdi Karami's 386.
Comfortable clean.
Very powerful jump, very tall athlete.
Yeah, that bar is probably about as high as Lasha gets it.
Yeah, not far off. He's got some long arms on him. And he looks happy with that. He's got a good position. The battle, realistically, I think is going to be between him and Mehdi Karami for that silver medal. And then maybe we're going to see a separate battle for... Well, no, that's probably going to be it. They're going to be battling out for silver and bronze. Nurudinov most likely will swoop in for gold at the last minute.
Third attempt representing Chinese Taipei.
211, this is massive. He hasn't hit this in competition before.
Yeah.
This will be a big personal best in the total as well. Perhaps he's hit 210 in training, and 211 is, you know, an all-time record for him. That might make some sense here.
Yeah, this is a big.
We've got the wrong name on the board,
and
once again, they've let the wrong athlete on again.
Rafael Cerro, the athlete.
So, a bit odd. So, Rafael Cerro here is on the board 211.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's some jockeying. Maybe the wrong number.
Did they write the wrong number, or they couldn't read it? I mean,
214. Is that what it was supposed to be? I mean, it's so hard to tell. He's
trying to claim that that's 13. It looks like 213.
This is a bit weird. Did
they write it in the wrong?
They had 215 on there.
215. It dropped down to 213. They didn't sign it. He's now trying to retroactively sign it. I'm not sure that works.
This is a bit odd.
They're trying to. Can you do that?
Well, I mean,
I'm not sure you can.
I don't think.
I mean, the clock's running.
It didn't pass.
If I'm Castillo, I'm coming out right now.
They're demanding that he use his third attempt.
Oh, he's coming out.
Wow, this is frustrating, I think. It looks like they had 215.
He's got to hurry. He's got 12 seconds. He's not moving quick. Okay, 8 seconds. A lot of cheer from the crowd. He's going to go straight into it.
Wow.
What a clean.
Incredible. He's taken off those knee wraps. What a remarkable event there. He had taken off the knee wraps that he had worn.
I wonder if he just didn't have time to put them on. Or
that's my guess. Yeah, he didn't have time to put them on.
He also barely walked off the platform, but 5-6 minutes ago, with a knee injury, and now he's. They forced him to run on, which was a little bit cruel.
Yeah,
considering the injury.
We're still wondering what's going on with the attempts changes back there. Okay,
Dongbin Chen now will come out to 11. Big lift here, 9 kilo jump. This will put him at 377. All these other athletes who want 211, some of them might then bump up to try and move ahead of him in the clean and jerk positioning.
Yeah, this 211 made by anybody won't actually get them up higher in the medals because it's been made already by Bogota.
Oh, it's a tough clean, but he's up. His second attempt jerk was a world apart from his opener. And that looks like a better attempt to get. Oh my word, he's actually made it.
What a fight.
What a moment there for Dongbin Chen, a huge personal best in the clean and jerk. And he just blows past his best ever total. 375 he hit at the Asian Championships. 378 he hits here today.
Yeah,
just
fantastic.
2 months of training, 3 kilos on the total.
211.
He only even went 4 for 6 as well. He's in great shape.
Such a tough jerk after that clean. Somehow gets back in front of it.
212, please, loaders.
And you wouldn't know there was a hole in the stage, would you? They've done a great job at covering that up.
Here representing Tunisia.
So 212 will definitely not stay for Basha here. He's done 211.
Segundo intento.
212 stays though. We're not seeing a change here. I'm wondering what's going on in the back. We'll probably see Zaza Lumtadze to come out for his 212. If Basha moves up. Basha has not moved here. The weight is, the clock's kind of, there we go.
A new 1 minute clock. Third attempt, Zaza Lumtadze, Georgia.
A bit of slowness and maybe some issues as far as timing of changes that go on in the back and how they get moved to the actual scoreboard themselves.
This is a massive jump here. It doesn't put him into a medal situation in the total, but might do in the clean and jerk. You have to imagine that the 10 kilo jump comes from Georgie just saying to him, look, Zaza, if you make this, you might walk away with the medal, so just go and give it everything.
Yeah, he'll be the first to take 212 here.
So fast.
Yeah, great speed on that clean.
It's great footwork. Oh, but his back foot slipped and he still
Beautiful
held
jerk.
on to the lockout. That is not something you can teach an athlete to do.
Yeah, he fought that split as long as he could, and it worked. It paid off.
Did you see? I mean, he landed with his heel out as he needed it, and then it just turned in. The legs straightened out. Somehow he just kept his balance.
Well, his heel probably rotated because he opened his hips up more because he was going forward, but he had the grit to fight with that. All right,
another 2 kilos for Franco.
Franco's made 200, jumped to 210.
Missed it.
Taken 212. He wants in on a medal.
This will put him into the 3rd position right now. It won't last long, but he will have it for a moment.
Very good clean. Makes the readjustment. Watch the hands.
Oh! It would have moved him ahead of his teammate. Now, the question I want to ask is, 9 kilo jump? 8 kilo jump? What, I mean, why 12?
Yeah. Yeah, such an odd call.
He was going for it. As you said, go big or go home. He's already home, so it's time to go big. And he didn't go big, so he's going home.
Now he's going home.
He probably lives just down the road. So Castillo potentially up next with 214. This would put him at 388. This puts him in the lead.
This man has had an interesting night.
Yeah, hasn't he?
He made his opener clean and jerk.
He hurt his knee.
Walked off stage, barely carried off stage. Ran out with 8 seconds left, didn't have his knee wraps on. Now he's back out for 214.
And he's got time on his hands.
And his knee wraps on. He seemingly didn't need them on the clean. That was incredibly fast.
There we go. He's so strong in the legs. This for the lead. Oh my word.
Beautiful lift.
He has done it, and he savors the moment, looking around at the crowd, pointing to the fans who are here. What a moment for Cero there. 4 for 6, moves way up into the lead, 388 kilos.
Only a few lifts remaining.
Goodness
215
me.
up next.
I wonder if he's been cramping. He looks like his arm is cramped there too.
Yeah, he's given absolutely everything in this session to get a medal, and he may well have done enough.
What a phenomenal fight.
There are other athletes who are going to want to try and move ahead of him. But for now, he puts himself in a strong position. Here's Eamon Basha at 215. This will move him back into the lead. Cerro Castillo will drop down into silver if Basha is successful with this. His opener was very powerful. It was wobbly. He's a taller lifter, but he's very strong.
This will give him a 390 total here, moving into the lead. His first clean and jerk was strong.
Oh, dear. Did that get in his head? Was it the timing? Did he?
Cerro Castillo in the back is probably on the edge of his seat.
Relief. Yeah, that's taken one breath.
2 minute
Basha
clock.
remains the athlete here representing Tunisia.
What's he
Potentially
gonna
he'll
do?
bump. Potentially he'll bump 1 more kilo. Bring out Karami.
Yeah. Karami is
The danger of that,
only
though.
a kilo. Well, Karami's a kilo ahead though of Basha, so Karami will just probably minute him because all he has to do is equal whatever Basha takes to stay in the lead.
Yeah, it's a dangerous position he's in now because, I mean, luckily he didn't go under, so he didn't really exhaust himself too much.
No.
But
I mean, I've seen athletes do slower complexes, pull plus clean and jerk. So
yeah, the old 5 minute long triple.
Yeah.
A bit interesting though. You know,
I think he'll just take this.
The pull is not a confidence inspiring event. To just hesitate like that, not even go under the bar.
I mean, we know that his best clean and jerk prior to this is 211 kilos. He did that at the Olympic Games. And then he opened with it, so there is a chance that he's never lifted this before. And you know, it's a different looking bar because suddenly we've got the blues on.
Yeah.
Potentially he's never hit that in competition. Well, he's never hit it with blues in a competition. Potentially never in training.
Yeah.
Bit of ammonia there just to wake him up, wipe the sweat off his face.
Please welcome back to the platform,
Tunisian athlete will come back
Tunisia, Eamon Basha.
So, really,
He took the bronze in the snatch. If he makes this, he moves up into the lead in the total. He probably needs if he wants to medal.
he cleans that, no problem.
That's great. Oh, he was in the right position.
Just wasn't there.
Feet were in the right spot. He looked locked out as well. He just sort of bounced out of the split and away.
He's hurt his back, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what it was. Just an instantaneous reflex of his body to get away from that weight. And that issue is, because he hit 386 after Mehdi hit it, he's in bronze, and all we need is for Nurudinov to open up, or for Chikidze to make a lift, and he's bumped out the medal spots.
So, this man has proved to be very formidable, 3 for 3 in the snatch. Each one he finds a little bit more range of motion, gets under that bar a little bit deeper, but he makes his lifts. 4 in a row so far.
6 kilo jump here, 216, we're at big numbers.
This would give him a 392 total.
Oh wow, such a slow pull. He might have caught that with his shoulders behind his heels. Like he was way back.
I don't think he physically could have gotten any more compact under that bar. I mean, both elbows, both arms touch the knees.
How he even escaped that
2-minute clock begins.
without an injury, I don't know.
Absolutely no fear going under that bar at all.
So he currently sits in silver medal position because he hit the 386 first. The issue is Chikidze wants 217, which would move him ahead into silver, which would put Mehdi into bronze, which would become 4th once Nurudinov opens up. So he basically needs to make this.
Yeah, I may be mistaken, but I think Chikidze had to take a 217 attempt to try and win the Europeans. So
to beat Hristo Hristov, who's not here today. He's fallen out of favor with the Bulgarian team.
So they're asking, do you want to go up? I think they're wondering if he wants more time.
Yeah, really? If you want to go up, you can, because although if he goes up, why would Chikidze take 217?
I don't think he is. I think he's coming after this. He knows.
Welcome back.
He doesn't want any more rest.
That's a smart call. At 216 kilograms, Mehdi Karami.
This man has no fear at all going under the bar. He's going to attack this weight.
This will be amazing if he gets it.
If anyone can do it.
He's got knee wraps on under his knee sleeves. His belt's tight, he's got wrist straps, every little bit of support he can find, because he will fold himself up if he needs to get under this.
Wow.
That's way better.
Amazing.
Straight into the jerk. It's got to get called for a press out, even though he holds it still.
He tries to sell it. He tries.
He did his absolute best to sell that.
What a phenomenal
Will they even play
attempt.
a challenge card? I mean, there's just no point. There's no world in which that gets turned over.
They know it.
Unless they slip a $100 bill in with that challenge card, I don't see any way that's turning over.
A challenge from the team.
But they're going to play it. Keep an eye on that challenge card there. I think it is just a card.
The jury will review.
I mean, Ali Husseini's trying to sell it as well. I think everybody knows that was a pretty.
I mean, that looked like a set of 5 in the push press, if you ask me.
He just too much, too many movements there. Yeah.
I mean, amazing fight, especially to come back after such a rough clean on his second attempt.
Yeah, you've got to commend them for trying a heroic attempt.
But you know what? They still sit in a podium spot.
That's true.
The only way he doesn't end up with a medal is if both Chikidze and Nurudinov make lifts. Nurudinov should, but I mean, Chikidze would be a huge personal best for him, so he might not.
Nurudinov will be out because he's dropped down to
217.
The
jury has confirmed the referee's decision, no lift due to bending and extending the arms.
Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah. But he sits in silver right now.
217 kilograms.
So Nurudinov will come out for 217, which will give him the gold, let's be real.
Yep.
And then Chikidze will come out to try and bump Mehdi Karami out of podium position. Okay.
This man has clean and jerk 241 kilograms.
At this body weight.
He is no stranger to these weights.
No.
Absolute best in the world at this lift.
He's probably been hitting this since he was a teenager. Just such incredible technique. Fingertips in the jerk as always. He actually buckled a little bit in the dip and drive, but it's no problem.
I have to wonder what his body weight is.
Yeah.
He may be making his way down now. He knows no one's going to be testing that record, so there's no real reason for him to try and defend it.
And he's almost certainly now become a 2-time world champion. He's an Olympic champion. He won the World Championships in 2013. So 9 years later, it looks like he's going to win it again.
So this is the same weight Chikidze had to make to win the Europeans. He was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
He's got 2 attempts. This is going to move him up to a medal.
It won't. Will it?
387.
It will. Yeah, sorry. This moves him into silver. Into bronze.
Yeah. For the bronze. Big jump forward. Wow.
Oh, he's got more in him as well. Look at Georgi Asanidze in the back, jumping, hugging. So what are they going to do next? I mean, he's now only 1 kilo behind Castillo.
218 on the barbell.
So he's going to go for 219, right? And move into the silver behind Nurudinov.
Nurudinov to follow. Just 2 athletes.
That's the call. He's going to have to follow himself there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why Nurudinov would let him do anything other than follow himself.
Yeah.
Nurudinov actually could lose the gold clean and jerk, theoretically, if Chikidze makes his next and
that's okay.
Nurudinov doesn't.
Nurudinov can go to 220.
Yeah.
It's still 21 kilos shy of his best.
There's no fear, I think, in Nurudinov's eyes that he won't be gold.
219,
gold.
Yep.
219. So this will be for Georgi Chikidze. This is great. So that means that first it was Ayman Basha who was bumped out of the podium spots. Then it was Mehdi Karami who was bumped out. And
now it's Cerro Castillo.
We know our 3 podium athletes. It's Nurudinov, it's Chikidze, and it's Castillo. But the order of Chikidze and Castillo is still up for grabs. Right now, Castillo sits in silver, but this 219 would swap Georgi around with him. We've got a minute 10. Georgi Asanidze, his coach, and Dr. Georgi. 3 Georgis there. Isn't that a singing group, the 3 Georgis?
Please welcome back to the platform, representing Georgia, 3rd attempt, 219 kilograms.
So quick turnaround here. He had ample power to make that last 217.
Yep.
It's a bit of redemption for Europeans. He's able to take that last lift to bump himself up a spot.
Now, despite missing 2 of his snatches, he's done remarkably well. But just watch, as he sets up, his hips are nice and low. But as he initiates the pull, his hips rise almost totally before the bar moves.
Yeah, the issue is if that bar drifts forward, makes that clean hard.
Which it does. He does jump forward. This for the silver.
Burning the clock.
3 seconds.
He's
up with it. Can he hold it?
He's done it.
Can he hold it? He's done it. Absolutely incredible. Georgia is going to walk away with a silver. Georgi is going to walk away with a silver. And Georgi Asanidze is being told off by the TC.
He got a little excited.
He's getting a bit too rowdy.
A little far out of the coach's box there.
Right, he's almost on the platform lifting it with him.
20 kilograms, please.
What an amazing moment for Georgi Chikidze. He made a courageous drop in body weight by 23 kilos to make this category. And Team Georgia walk away with a silver medal.
All of those Georgias are happy. What a great day.
Thank you, loaders.
Okay, so 2 attempts remain. Ruslan Nurudinov will probably come out for this 220 just because it gives him the 3 golds rather than the 2 golds. He's already become a world champion here.
He's
looking over at the Georgian team in the crowd. The Georgians are now laughing because he just looked at them.
That's a cheeky response, huh?
He said, "You guys thought you were going to get a gold in the clean and jerk." Well, probably not. It's really great to see that sort of interaction with the crowd. Oh, it's a tough clean.
Just a little out of position there.
Okay, that's not going to go. He looks actually a little bit...
He's dizzy.
He's very dizzy.
He's stumbling around here.
Yeah. You know, he might be done there. He might be done. He's got the gold in the snatch. He's got the gold in the total. He is the world champion again, 9 years later.
Nurudinov remains the athlete for the final attempt in this session.
He might not go for that, Max.
220 kilograms.
Does he need another gold? I mean, this man has done almost everything that he can do in the sport. He's a Asian champs winner, Asian games winner, world champion, Olympic champion, world record holder. He's even won the Summer Universiad back in 2013, for whatever that's worth. Looks like he might have another go.
I have to believe that smirk. He doesn't want to end on that.
No. He can't stare down the Georgians in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then not come out and go for it.
Yeah, you can't say, hey, watch this, and then miss the lift.
No.
It's got to end on a success here. A bit surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be quite way down in the total. You know, when he won back in 2013 as a 105, he totaled 425 kilos. He's totaled as much as 432 kilos. That's what he did in Almaty 2014. Of course, he famously lost to Ilya, lost his world record twice in the 2 following lifts. But he's going to go for it. He currently sits at 394. This just to get 3 golds. He's never gotten 3 golds before in a competition.
Yeah, it's his lift.
Please welcome back.
He looks still a little bit dazed, a little bit tired.
Nurudinov.
Fuerte aplauso para Ruslan
Looks like someone from the IWF just came and gave him a slap.
Yeah, I think.
Not sure he's even on Team Uzbekistan. Okay, smiles again, as is pretty characteristic of Ruslan. He likes to put himself into a positive frame of mind.
Possibly his last World Championships is 109. Better clean. He's got his breath this time.
And it's a very tough jerk. Can he put his feet together?
That is a sign of a true veteran.
He looks tired.
What a fantastic finish.
Wonderful. He looks exhausted.
He sweeps gold.
3 gold medals for the veteran Ruslan Nurudinov. 177, 220, a 397 total.
Ceremony will occur in a few moments.
That man has done it all.
Yeah, he deserves a rest.
He's battled the best ever. He's still the world record holder.
He's got to get those sleeves off.
Yeah, he
Get
looks
the belt off.
ready for a rest.
Get that man a bowl of plov. Okay, so the gold medal for the 2nd time in his career at the World Championships to Ruslan Nurudinov. Not the best total, not the best performance from him, but enough for the day. 397 kilos. The silver medal will go to Georgi Chikidze, an incredible performance from the Team Georgians. 170, 219, 389. A kilo below him will be Castillo from Colombia. Colombia again sneaking another medal. 388 kilos.
Impressive.
And then we had a couple of athletes at 386. That was Mehdi Karami from Iran and Ayman Basha. So an exciting session there. We only have 1 session to go, 1A session. Of course, we have the C and B groups tomorrow morning, but then it's the men's plus 109s, the strongest men in the world of weightlifting, battling it out to become world champion. That's going to be it from all of us. So we'll see you all tomorrow for the men's super heavyweight category.